Hello, Facebook Live. Lindsay Price here. Pointing to myself as if I don't know who this is. Of course, this is me. Thank you for having me in your feed. You know what to do. If this would be too much face in your Facebook feed, just scroll away. I won't mind. I won't even know. But we're having a very interesting talk today on Facebook Live. We're just going to expand on one of our Facebook questions. That question of the day: what is your definition of creativity? We are talking creativity today. What is your definition of creativity? Put it in the comments. I want to know what you think, and I'm going to tell you what I think, as opposed to what somebody else thinks. But creativity, what does that mean? It is a thing that has a lot of preconceived notions around it, doesn't it? Especially when we are dealing with the arts and in the arts classroom. I can't do that. I'm not creative. I hear that all the time when it comes to playwriting, right? I can't do it. I'm not creative. As if it is something that you have to have, that it's in you, right? That you have to have creativity, I don't know, since birth. And that if you don't have that thing, that gene that makes you creative, well, then you can't do so many things. So let us see what we can do to dispel that myth, the myth of creativity. Because I am a firm believer that that the definition of creativity is not what many people think it is, that it's not that gene that's in you. It is not something that some people have and some people don't. It is not specifically delegated into the narrow field of the arts. It's not just the arts that gets to be creative. Everybody gets to be creative. What's your definition of creativity? Put it into the comments. There are some awesome things that people over on our Facebook page have said. Creativity, Karen says, the ability to take anything and transform it into something else. That is the definition of creativity. To be creative is to do something new. It's a problem-solving technique, right? To do something new. So you can be absolutely creative in science. You can be creative coming up with a new hairstyle. You know, you can be creative. You can be creative in math. Yes, you can. I know you think you can't, but yes, you can. It's not just an artistic phenomenon. To be creative, all you have to do is to take something and do something new with it. It is a problem-solving technique. There's a reason that when we're looking at the 21st century skills, right, that we all have critical thinking, collaboration, communication, and creative thinking. Critical thinking and creative thinking. And what they mean by creative thinking is to problem solve, right? Right. What else? Thinking outside the box, an attempt to make something worth thinking about. Ooh, Harriet. Thinking outside the box, an attempt to make something worth thinking about. So that means, I think, Harriet, I'm going to speak for you, and you please tell me if I'm completely off my rocker, but that you're making something creative and it's making it important to you, that it has importance. That's what I really mean to say, that it has importance, so that it is worth, you're putting an effort into this new thing that you are doing, that you are trying to think outside the normal realm of how something might be presented, and that it has weight and that there's stake to it. So that creativity is something that perhaps is not frivolous, that we want to take it with seriousness. Fiona says, the marriage of glitter, rainbows, and philosophy. I love that. Problem solving when there isn't a right answer. Yes, Corey, this is a problem solving technique. So in the description, there are a couple of links. One is a link to a blog post, which I'm going to talk about, which is called Kick Creativity Out of the Drama Classroom. Oh, what does that mean? But this blog post has a ton of how do you gain activities for your classroom, and also a free PDF download. It is it's the season, right? It's the season for thanks. It's the season for giving back. We want to make sure that you have what you need for your classroom. Download this link, read the article, get the download in the downloaded link in the downloaded blog post. Excuse me, I need more caffeine. And also there is a link to our free resources. We have a free resource section on our blog post, theaterfolk.com, where there are monologues from plays. And it's a great way to sort of test drive a play. Read a monologue, read a scene, like it, go get the play. But we have monologues and scenes that you can use. We have articles on a whole bunch of different areas that are great jumping off points for you to test your creativity. And a third giveaway, just to sort of put that out there, is we're coming up to the last Sunday of November, which I know is frightening. I know it's frightening. We'll all get through this together. Yes, we will. But the last Sunday of every month here at Theater Folk is Free Play Sunday. And the only way that you can get in on the action of Free Play Sunday, where we send a email to all of our newsletter subscribers. So that means you have to get on our email list. And all you got to do is go to theaterfolk.com and sign up for our email list, our email newsletter. And that means you get into the loop of a free play in your inbox. Who doesn't want that? Who wants to go and line up for hours on end for a TV or some other wonderful electronics that you can get for whatever price? Who wants to go to Walmart at 3 in the morning when you can sit in your home during this weekend of Black Friday sales and Cyber Monday, between Black Friday and Cyber Monday? You could be getting a free play in your inbox, and you don't have to get out of your pajamas or leave your home. Is there anything better? I don't think so. Okay, back to creativity. Okay, so creativity has a stigma. Everybody thinks it's something that you have inside you already. When the actual fact of the matter is, creativity is not a thing that you have. Creativity is a process. It is a way of thinking. It is something that you can train your brain to do. You want to think of creativity not as something that is genetic, but something that is a muscle, right? If you work your creativity muscle, it's something that's going to get better and better and better and better. It's the same thing. The same thing, but is a similar metaphor to physical fitness, right? We all can become physically fit. All of us, within the realm of we're healthy. We have all our limbs are in working order, but there's lots of. I'm going down a hole. Don't go down the hole. But we can all be physically fit. It's a muscle. It's muscles that need to be worked on a regular basis. That's what I mean to say. And it's the same thing with creativity. Creativity is a muscle that needs to be worked. So, how do we do that? How do we do that in the classroom, where we can get students and ourselves out of the realm of thinking, I'm not creative, I can't do that? A couple of things. One, have moments in your classroom where there is no thinking involved. So all you're doing is seeing something, making a decision, acting like kids do. Little kids who are creative every day of their lives until they go to school and it's sort of taken out of them. They make decisions and they make choices and they say things that are inherently creative just because. Right? Get your students to pretend that they are 5 years old. Look at Romeo and Juliet. How would a 5-year-old look at Romeo and Juliet as a 5-year-old? Here is a cushion. All right, now it's a time travel machine. Now it's an airplane. Now it is an alien from outer space. And to not think about the parameters of reality, not to think of, well, this wouldn't happen. It's not an alien, it's a couch cushion. It doesn't make any sense. Don't think. Just do. And get your students in the habit of seeing their world in a new light, seeing their world like 5-year-olds do. And to not overthink. I know there's so much overthinking these days, right? Well, there's got to be a right answer in order to get a good mark. There's got to be all the reflection that happens, right? That's a lot of thinking, critical thinking, lots of thinking, and creativity. It is framed in the world of thinking. But if you can get your students on let's say once a week, do an impossible scene, right? You have to have Japanese in this scene. That's impossible. Oh, I can't speak Japanese. Okay, we'll figure it out. Problem solve it. Figure out how you're going to have a scene that must have Japanese in it, and see what happens. You have to do a scene underwater. Well, I can't do a scene underwater. We're not underwater. Okay, we'll figure it out, right? Get that muscle working and do once a week an impossible scene. And the point is not the success of the scene, but to acknowledge that there is a problem that needs to be solved, and it's theater class. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. The world is your oyster, right? Okay. Do scenes with objects. And students aren't allowed to use the object as it is intended for. So everybody gets a chair. They have to use the chair in the scene, but nobody can sit. It can't be used as a chair, right? Okay. It's so, I just think that is one of the greatest ways to really get them working and thinking about creative problem solving. And then the next thing you want to get into is, particularly with creative problem solving, is failing. And that, okay, here's your impossible scene. You have to have Japanese in this scene. Okay, I'm going to play a YouTube video, and we're going to do that improv game where it's foreign dub. So we'll play the YouTube video so we hear the Japanese, and then we're going to mime the lines. Oh, we couldn't get it to work. It didn't sync properly. So fail at it. So, but there was a choice made, and a problem was solved doing something new. And then get them in the habit of, it's okay that things go wrong. Again, another thing that is just so hard on students these days. The notion of that failing is bad. Well, failing is failing a failing grade. And in drama class, there must be failure. There's this great quote that I've got here from Joseph Chilton Pearce, is to live a creative life, we must first lose the fear of being wrong. To live a creative life, we must first lose the fear of being wrong. And to further to that, think of wrong as a choice. Right? Okay. I'm going to try and solve this problem. It's very scientific, actually. I'm going to try and solve this problem. And the way I solve this problem is new. Ergo, it is creative. And it might not work. Try and, this is a really good thing to do with your student directors, right? Try and have them direct a scene that goes in the complete opposite tone or genre that the play is written and the scene is written in. Have them purposefully go in the wrong direction with the scene, and let them be frustrated, and let them and let the actors flounder around. Let them fail, and see if something wonderful comes out of that. What is the wonder that comes out of not always doing the right thing? What is your definition of creativity? That's what we're talking about in this Facebook Live. The links in the description go to a blog post, which I'm talking about here, but also has a download and exercise that applies the concept of being wrong as a creative tool, which you can download for free. And you can also go to our free stuff page, which has monologues, which has scenes, which has articles on all kinds of stuff that you can use in your classroom. Definitions of creativity. Okay, a couple more. We have one, bringing a show under budget. That's creativity, doing something new. And I guess if you haven't brought in a show in under budget and you do it and it's new, you're creative, man. Opening your mind. Fearless exploration. Yes, because there is nothing that brings more fear than being wrong and failing. It is terrifying to fail in a classroom situation. I think that students must be. Students are losing their minds sometimes these days. It's a hard thing. A couple other things. Ken Robinson, Sir Ken Robinson, has a really great TED Talk. Do schools kill creativity? Google that. Just Google it. Google it, Sir Ken Robinson. Do schools kill creativity? That how necessary creativity is to education, because what do we want? We want students to go out into the world and to be problem solvers, to think their way out of situations. I guess that's something else that's kind of really interesting these days, is that we do have the mighty Google machine. The Google machine solves a lot of problems. I like the Google machine. But if we are always given the answer to something, then that muscle loses its buoyancy. It atrophies. That's the word I'm looking for. And that creativity is something that needs to be worked on a daily basis. What is creativity? Creativity is, there's another really great, what is this? I think it's an infographic. That's what I'm going to call it. And it just sort of looks into all the things about creativity. Creativity can be taught. Do you believe that? Do you believe creativity can be taught? If you think creativity as a muscle, if you think of creativity as something that can be practiced, maybe you do. Do you think that creativity is inherent, that there are people who are just not creative? I guess it all depends on what's your definition. Creativity makes us human. Absolutely. Creativity will dominate our time. That's interesting. I bet you there's some people who don't think that creativity will dominate their time. Creativity is intelligence having fun. Creativity is forever. Okay, so creativity. That's what I want to talk about. That's what I want to just sort of blather on today. My face, your feed. Creativity was just something that was on our question of the day. What is your definition of creativity? Share below. Share on our Facebook page. How do you think of creativity? Is creativity glitter, rainbows, and philosophy? Is creativity doing something new? Thinking outside the box? Problem solving? Creating something, right? When a 2-year-old takes a crayon and puts something on a piece of paper, that is creative. And why is it that when we do that as kids, everybody just sees that as normal, right? When a 2-year-old draws and creates something new and then tells a story based on what they draw, that is the normal thing that kids do. And it's something that we lose along the way. And that's what we need to get back. We need to be going out like kids in the classroom, seeing the world as 5-year-olds do, practicing failure, taking a scene and maybe taking it in the exact wrong direction just to see what happens. Thinking of wrong as a choice. being wrong as a possibility is a choice in a scene. And that might be a really great question. Take that question in, not tomorrow, for I know most of you, well, here it's a normal work day tomorrow, but I know a lot of you are on your getting ready to get your turkey on. But what a great question to take into your classroom the first day that you go back. What is your definition of creativity? First of all, how do your students define creative? 2, have them reflect on this sentence. Do you think, no, wait, question. I'm trying to figure this out on the spot. Oh, think of wrong as a choice. Is being wrong a choice? Can being wrong be a choice? You're gonna have to figure out a better way to say that than I just did. Wrong as a choice. Can you see wrong? Can you see a wrong? I think now we need to end, because now I've just gone down, I think I've gone down 3 holes in this particular Facebook Live that aren't good. Okay, so go to the links in the description. Make sure you're getting the article. Make sure you're getting the downloads. Make sure you're getting the free stuff. And if you want more free stuff, it's Free Play Sunday for all of our newsletter subscribers on Sunday. And all you got to do is sign up for our newsletter, and a free play will arrive in your inbox. No need to go out at 3 a.m. No need to be lining up in lines and elbowing your way to the thing that you want. You want a free play? Sign up for our newsletter. And that is all I'm going to do. Everybody have a great night.